Okay, well what we're going to make is these German Butterballs, and you can put these in chicken soup, and Grandma never did teach me exactly how to make the chicken soup, but we are going to make these balls today, and that's what it's all about. You get your breadcrumbs into the bowl. So we've got our breadcrumbs there, and what I do is usually do all the dry ingredients first. This is one of the, I would call it if there was a secret ingredient, it's allspice, okay? This allspice is something that really gives it that flavor. You would think, you know, is that gonna be that good as much as you're putting in? But it really comes out nice. It sets it off as far as being able to have that flavor that people will say, what is that? And that's what it is. So we go with a teaspoon of that. And depending on, you know, how much you like it, after you make a batch of these, you might put a little more, a little less, it's up to you. But we get a teaspoon of that in there. Okay, then we've got just a little bit of salt, just a little bit. I just put a little, I call it a dash or a quarter teaspoon we put in the recipe. And the same with a little bit of pepper. These are a savory kind of an item, and I think, you know, adjust to your taste. This is the way we've always made them though, so at least try our way first before you make any adjustments. We've got the dry ingredients here ready. We've got our butter melted. What you do is you just kind of drizzle the butter in a little bit. Okay, and you've got your fork close by, and kind of just mix it up, incorporate it in a little bit. What you're going to end up with is something that looks a little bit like cookie dough. So we do a little, we get the butter in, and I don't like to make a big mess, so I use the same container here to measure out some of this half and half. We're going to get a little bit of that in there, and I just take the egg and crack it right in there. And then we're going to whisk that up a little bit too. So we've got it mixed in where it looks nice and even. You can take a little look there. So just whip up your egg and your cream together, just enough to make it look like it is mixed, and then get right in there with it. Set that over there. A good cook cleans as they go. They don't make it look like there's a big typhoon that's went through your kitchen when you're done. So now we start to pull this thing together. And like I say, as simple as it sounds, you know, you got some butter and some cream and some eggs and things. When you're done with these and you see how they really turn out, I think you're going to be really, really surprised at how good they are. It really is a comforting dish. So let's see here. These are just about tightened up a little bit. And when you get to the point where you've made this first batch, it should be a firm kind of, like I say, look like cookie dough. Make them about walnut size. This is not a matzo ball. It's not a softball size type of thing. You just want a nice little ball about, let me just demo right here and see what you guys can come up. Probably about walnut size is what they ought to come out. Right about walnut size is what we're talking about here, okay? And make them as round as you can. And you know, you can even, if you really want them a little bigger, maybe golf ball at the outside limit. But once they're all made and you've got them in the bowl, you want to refrigerate them. As I said earlier, you're talking at least 4 hours. Overnight is best. I made these last night. And what you've got is really a chance for everything to pull together, and you come out with these little nuggets of goodness right here, okay? So now we've got our soup going over here. Do not boil these. You want to simmer them. You want it just to be not even just a slight boil. I'm talking simmering. This is something where you're not in a hurry, you're relaxing, it's the holidays. You get your soup going, and you can use even instant soup. And I'm sorry, Grandma, for saying that, but if you want to make homemade soup, you can do that. I cheat a little bit and just use a prepared soup, but I doctor it up a little bit. Put some chicken broth in there and whatever you like to use. Maybe mince up some chicken and put in it. A little tiny bit of green onion is nice too. And then once you've got that soup ready and you've got it going to that little slight simmer, you go ahead and get your items and drop them in there one at a time. Real easily, don't splash anything on yourself. And once you get these in there, they're going to drop to the bottom and they're going to sit there for a little bit. And when you've got this simmering happening, that's when the magic starts to happen. They're going to start to cook, and they'll tell you when they're done. They're going to float to the top. When you see them floating, it's time to eat. That's when you'd pull out the bowls and call everybody in, and you're ready to go ahead and have some of these German Butterball soup. It's really fantastic, and like I say, this is my Grandma Anna's recipe, and I think you're really going to like it. I know we've loved it for years. So.